This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
You are listening to the Indie Rundown Podcast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Zach.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Indie Rundown Podcast. This is your boy, Zach Salazar, coming at you live from our studios here in good old H-Town. And man, am I hyped today because we got something super special for you guys. We got a franchise rankings episode. That's right, we're back on the rankings game today. We haven't done one of these in a minute. I think the last one we did was Mission Impossible last year. But either way, this is an episode I've been wanting to do for a long ass time because today we're ranking all 20 films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's right, the MC motherfucking U. Now, if you know me, I'm a huge comic book fan, so this is like Christmas to me, man. It's always like Christmas when I talk about this badass franchise, dude. So yeah, to avoid putting everyone to sleep, I'm going to keep these rankings pretty short and sweet because like I said, there's 20 of these damn things. This could be a potentially 6-hour episode, so we want to avoid that. So go grab some popcorn, go get some soda, some Rolos, some Sour Patch Kids, whatever else you fucking prefer, and let's dive right into this shit. Alright, let's start this list off at number 20, the bottom of the barrel, the dumpster fire, the red-headed stepchild of the franchise, man. This is the one that nobody talks to at the Thanksgiving dinner, and that is Iron Man 3, directed by Shane Black. Man, just saying that names makes me shudder a little bit. I fucking hate this movie. I hate it. I wish I could burn it away from existence. You know what really pissed me off the most about this movie is the complete mishandling of the Mandarin. Good God, it was brutal. My man turns out to be a hired actor. Man, get the fuck out of here with that shit, dude. You talk about a cop-out of which the likes we've never seen. I mean, how the fuck are you gonna take the most iconic villain in the Iron Man franchise and just take a Taco Bell-induced massive shit all over his legacy like that? Shame on you, Shane Black. Shame on you, my man. But you know, the only saving grace from all that was that Marvel later retconned the character by mentioning the real Mandarin is still out there. So, you know, there's hope, man. But let's fucking greenlight an Iron Man 4 already so we can touch upon that now. But anyways, if you can manage to make it past the ridiculous climax, then you deserve some props. Blah, 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 Pepper is a mutant, bionic beast, blah, 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 people fighting with fire inside them, blah, 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 50 Iron Man suits. Fuck, man, it's just a mess, dude. And don't get me started with the whole Tony Stark, little kid, Harley side plot, man. I mean, shit, I'd rather watch Batman and Robin again with my fucking eyes taped open. But anyways, this movie definitely feels more like a Shane Black film than it does an Iron Man film, and it just feels very detached from the MCU. And for that reason, that's why this movie is the lump of dog shit on the bottom of my Gucci flip-flops, aka number 20 on this list. Now let's break out the Men in Black Mind Wiper and pretend we've never talked about this movie. Let's move on. Alright, joining Iron Man 3 in the basement at number 19 is another movie I fucking hate, but I hate it just a little bit less than Iron Man 3, and that is Thor: The Dark World, directed by Alan Taylor. Damn, dude, 2013 was just a downright shitty year for the MCU. Talk about following up 2012's Avengers with a bang. Jesus Christ, man. Who the fuck helped you plan these two movies, man? The showrunners at DC Films? Fuck. Anyways, I was pretty hyped to see this movie, especially with Alan Taylor directing it. All of us Game of Thrones marks know who he is. Look it up if you don't. I ain't gonna fucking hold your hand and spell it out for you. But yeah, man, if you ask me, my biggest flaw with this movie, aside from everything, it's the villain. Holy shit, you talk about a horrendous villain, man. My little elven friend was completely laughable and seriously underdeveloped. I didn't give two fucking shits about this guy, or his motivations, or the reason behind his actions. You know, and for the longest time, I couldn't even remember his damn name. But yeah, I think Malekith might be the worst villain we've ever had in the MCU, actually. It's a shame. But, you know, whatever. But joining Malekith in the things I hate most about this movie are the scenes on Earth. Man, you talk about cringe, dude. I want to know why they went and added yet another campy comic relief character into the mix, dude. You know, I'm talking about that one intern kid. I can't remember his name. He was shit, though. He was shit. As if we didn't already have enough of these damn characters. Looking at you, Jane and Darcy. Damn, man. But yeah, we didn't need another one. It was just overkill at that point. That's like adding That's like adding Melissa McCarthy to in Adam Sandler and Kevin James movie. Just take us out back and put an end to us already, man. But anyways, I do have some positives about this movie, but there's not many. You know, most of the cast was good, especially Chris Hemsworth, Anthony Hopkins, Tom Hiddleston. But, you know, aside from that, that's pretty much it. So let's just get the hell away from this one and move on, man, before this movie sees us. Alright, coming in at number 18 on this list is Iron Man 2, directed by my man, Jon Favreau. Fucking love that guy. You ever seen Chef? Go watch Chef and thank me later. But anyways, once again, an Iron Man film is at the bottom of my list, but unlike Iron Man 3, I don't necessarily hate this movie. I was just very disappointed with it. Like when you train your friend for months on end to defeat somebody, and then they go out there and get their ass fucking bodied. That kind of disappointment. But yeah, this movie just had way too much going on, man. It's like they went out of their way to cram so much shit in here, and in turn, it just made it feel very intricate and convoluted. You know, that's something the MCU has gotten better at, you know, in future movies, juggling so many characters and storylines. But, you know, Iron Man gets a pass because it was 2010. They were still green back then. They were still finding their footing. But yeah, man, we were just getting started, baby, so we can lay off. But here's my biggest issue with this movie: the villain. Again, another weak-ass villain. Whiplash was a fucking joke, man. Now, on paper, his motivations to why he wanted to body Tony Stark made sense, but these damn writers didn't flesh him out enough, man. I personally think they just shoehorned him in the movie because Mickey Rourke was on a hot streak at the time. No disrespect. It's the writers that fucked it up, you know? But, you know, I would have liked to have seen a little more development from the character, perhaps even introducing him in a previous movie, or, you know, let him escape and come back in a sequel or something. But, hey, what the fuck do I know? I'm just a fan, right? But yeah, my other gripe with this movie is the ending. Final fight. It's a fucking travesty, man. Whiplash is dead in what, like a minute and a half? Give me a break, man. You gotta show us something, baby. Come on, Marvel. Talk about anticlimactic, man. Jesus. Now, let's get on to the positives real quick. There's not many, but new characters I liked. Justin Hammer was money. We got introduced to Black Widow and her historic leather outfit. War Machine got some solid screen time, and my homies Nick Fury and Agent Coulson, they were just the cherries on top. So, alright, what we got next? Alright, number 17. At number 17, we got The Incredible Hulk, directed by Louis... fuck me, I should have done some research on this. Louis Leterrier? I don't fucking know, dude. I can't pronounce homeboy's last name. But, and for all you scrubs out there, by the way, this ain't that 2003 shitfest with Eric Bana. This is the Ed Norton one. So, you know, yeah, this movie gets a lot of hate, but at the same time, I think it's pretty underrated, man. I did have an issue with the casting of Ed Norton at first. He always felt a little bit odd to play Bruce Banner. I don't know why, he just did, man. But, you know, he made the best of what he was given. You know, he brought his A game, and I was impressed. You know, I think a lot of cats look down on this movie because they've been so used to Mark Ruffalo now that when they go back and watch this, it's hard seeing him in that role now because you know, you're just so used to that, and it's hard adapting to, you know, thinking that this is honestly the same character. You know, it doesn't feel like an MC movie to some people. But regardless of how you feel, it's a fucking MCU movie. You know, Norton and Ruffalo are technically playing the same person with the same history. But you know, actually, real quick, you know what'd be funny is if someone out there did like a fan edit of this movie and superimposed Mark Ruffalo's head on Ed Norton's body throughout the whole movie. Someone needs to hop on that, man. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, this movie ain't the best of the bunch, but it was alright, you know. I enjoyed it a bit. Abomination was sick. You know, he put on them gloves and he brought the house down with Hulk. That was a pretty badass fight. Shit was hype. Thunderbolt Ross was great. William Hurt, great casting. I was really happy to see him brought back for Civil War and Infinity War. My girl Liv Tyler was good as Betty Ross, very underrated, even though people shit on her for no reason. But fuck them, you know. My only gripe is I really do wish Universal would get off their asses and hand the rights back over to Marvel, because I'd really like to see Mark Ruffalo do a sequel to this movie. You know, but hey, who knows? Stranger things have happened. Let's move on to number 16. Alright, next up at number 16 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, directed by James Gunn. Now, you know your boy here was hyped going into this because I fucking loved the first movie. I had high hopes, man, but they were a little bit too high because this movie was just meh, middle of the pack for me, nothing to write home about. And it really upsets me too because I love the ensemble cast movies where, you know, every character has a unique personality that brings something to the story. It worked in the first movie, man, but, you know, some of them in this one were just there for the sake of being there. But yeah, anyways, my biggest complaint with this movie was the overuse of comedy. Now, before you narcs get triggered, yes, assholes, I know the Guardians are known for their comedy, but damn, dude, this shit was just overkill in this movie. You know, there was a lot of serious moments in this movie that were just undercut by stupid-ass jokes, you know, that were extremely out of place, man. But here, take for example, when Ego tells Star-Lord he was responsible for his mother's death. Holy shit, what a bombshell. That was the prime rib of Revelations, man. A very impactful moment, followed up by phenomenal acting by Chris Pratt. But what does this movie do? They turn around and respond by throwing in an eye-gouging joke about David Hasselhoff. Get the fuck out of here, dude. What the fuck was that about, man? Why the hell do movies keep doing this shit? I don't understand it. Leave the drama in and let the shit ride. You had us right in the feels, man. You're about to make us bawl our eyes out like a high school chick getting dumped, you know, and then you just shit all over us, man. Do directors think it's actually funny, or it's going to be funny after a dramatic moment like that? Like, do they sit down with the writer like, oh man, this is a good part, let's write this in here, man, we'll get the audience crying, but yeah, I think we should add something funny right there. Well, are you sure, man? That's kind of a serious moment. No, it'll get a good laugh. Come on, dude. You know, I'm a film director myself, and I'd fucking hate to do something like that, you know, but hey, to each their own, I guess. I don't want no part of that shit, though. But anyways, aside from all that, this convoluted movie it's pretty entertaining for the most part, you know, especially that opening fight. I gotta give props to that. It definitely wasn't on par with the first movie, but, you know, it's still mediocre. It's alright, man. But hopefully a James Gunn-less Guardians 3 can be more in tune with the first one. Man, I'm still salty about Disney firing him, but whatever, man. Let's move on. Alright, coming in at number 15 is Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, this was the second Avengers film directed by Joss Whedon, and this shit literally broke the poor dude. This fucking guy loses his mind, he quits Twitter, and he basically completely walks away from the MCU, you know. But yeah, I would have too if I had to make this mediocre movie. But yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it for the most part. Some of it's cool, some of it's, you know, alright, but it's pretty hit or miss for me. When they said the villain would be Ultron, I remember thinking, wait, didn't they already tease Thanos in the first movie? Why are they doing Ultron next? Don't come on, dude. Don't tell me they're just gonna fucking shoehorn his ass in there for one movie. Damn it, Marvel. Well, that's exactly what they did. Come on, Feige. You gotta do Ultron just a little bit more justice than that, man. You know, this is Ultron we're talking about here. You gotta flesh his robotic ass out over a couple of movies at least, you know? I hated the way they just threw him in there like some C-rate villain on a low-level CW series. You know, they should have just waited on him. I mean, I like how we ended up where we are right now, but, you know, they could have just used another B-rate villain in place of Ultron, you know, just to keep us at bay until we got to Thanos. But, yeah, missed opportunity there, man. Y'all should have kept him in your back pocket, but, and plus, Michael Douglas is in the MCU now, so we could have gone the comics route and had him be the creator of Ultron or something, but, you know, whatever. We can chalk that up to what could have been. Anyways, regardless of my resentment on their use of Ultron, James Spader kicked ass in the role, even if his motives were a little bit sudden and forced. The only big positives I had in this movie was the introduction of Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. They were good, even though, let's face it, this Quicksilver can't hold a candle to the one in Days of Future Past. But overall, this convoluted mess of a movie just had way too much shit going on. It just bogged down the storyline, including the random subplot with Hawkeye's family on the farm. But I mean, it's clear now they were setting up stuff to play with down the road, aka Endgame. But yeah, Age of Ultron, it's pretty cool, but it's definitely the weakest Avengers movie, man. Let's move on. Alright, moving on to number 14 is Ant-Man and the Wasp, directed by Peyton Reed. Now, I didn't know what to expect from this movie after the damn bombshell that was Infinity War last year. I mean, of course, I expected a fun Ant-Man movie, you know, comedic stuff, but I wasn't sure how or if the effects of the snapping from Infinity War would play a part in this movie or even in the post-credits scene, but spoiler alert, they did, and the shit was epic. Now, let's get real for a minute. I really enjoyed this movie. It was fun. It was kind of wacky at times, but overall, it was exactly what I wanted from an Ant-Man sequel. You know, by the way, what's up with Scott Lang in this movie? It seems like they dumbed him down in this one compared to the first one. In the first one, he was a lot smarter, you know. It seemed like he was a little more intelligent, you know, with having to come up with, you know, intricate things and stuff like that. I don't know what happened there. I didn't like that. But what I did like is how Evangeline Lilly kicked fucking ass as the Wasp. You know, she was the perfect counterpart to Ant-Man. They mix together perfectly like cigars and whiskey. You know, so let's get my complaints out of the way. The Walton Goggins character was just pointless. You know, it's just some random dude in a suit looking for tech. You know, if you write his ass out of the movie, it really wouldn't make any difference. Kind of a wasted character there. But I think if they would have left him out and focused solely on the Ghost character, it would have made for a better developed character and story. But whatever. I guess Goggins has blackmail on somebody at Marvel. Who fucking knows? But Randall Park, man. Holy shit, that character was nothing but cringe. Way too fucking slapstick and cartoony. It was overkill. I don't care what you say. You know, I get what you were trying to do, but as we say on film sets, do it better next time, dude. Let's see. Scott's trio of friends are back, led by Michael Pena, and just like the first movie, they didn't disappoint. Also, I got to give a shout out to my man Lawrence Fishburne for leaving the DC universe and coming over to the red side. We're glad to have you, buddy. And one last shout out to Michelle Pfeiffer. Loved her as Janet Van Dyne, even though she just kind of came and went. But it's no biggie. I'm sure we'll get more of her in the future. But overall, Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's a fun, enjoyable movie. You know, these characters have really grown on me, so it was cool. Let's move on, man. Alright, next up on the list at number 13 is Captain America, the First Avenger, directed by Joe Johnston. Oh, yeah. Now, this is the OG Captain America, man. This is the movie that helped save Chris Evans' superhero career after the dog shit Fantastic Four movies. Hey man, my boy redeemed himself, dude, and I couldn't have been happier. Like a fucking dad on graduation day, happy as hell because he knows his son has to move out now. You know, that type of shit. But anyways, this film is awesome, dude. I do have some minor complaints, but it's nothing to warrant me labeling this as a piece of shit, you know? It's badass, dude. I thought the way Evans showcased Steve Rogers' personality and traits, I thought they were very well done, man. You know, he's a weak, tiny, puny-ass kid, but you know, he's also got a massive heart, man, along with some grit and serious determination to overcome his disabilities and make something of himself. You can't get any better than that, man. I was hyped to see him succeed, man. The villain was sick in this movie. Loved Red Skull, aka the OG Hydra. You know, it was nice to see the Russos welcome him back in Infinity War. I still haven't picked up my jaw from the floor yet after seeing that reveal. Let's see, the legendary Tommy Lee Jones makes an appearance in this. He's great. Bucky's great. It was good seeing the Howlin' Commandos on screen. It's all badass, man. The whole movie's cool. I loved how Joe Johnston captured the feel and the essence of the 1930s and 1940s. Just a fantastic tone, man. And you know, also being a huge war buff, the war aspects of this movie were just a cherry on top, man. Let's see, another great thing about this movie is the relationship with Steve and Peggy Carter. You know, it's a relationship that's grown substantially over the years. I'm very much pulling for Cap to get back to her somehow for that dance, you know. I do have a theory, though. Here's my theory. I don't think Cap's going to die in Endgame. Because everybody's talking about, oh, Cap's going to die, blah, 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 blah. He could die. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he won't. But I'm just saying, like, since this movie will involve time travel, apparently, I think he's going to find a way to get back to his original timeline. And ultimately, at the end, decide to sacrifice his future and stay there to live out the rest of his life with her, you know? So I think it would be a hell of a way to wrap and close up that storyline after they've been teasing it for all these years. So that'd be pretty cool. But anyways, let's move on to number 12. All right, next on the list at number 12 is Doctor Strange, directed by Scott Derrickson, aka the Trip Balls movie of the MCU. Holy shit, man. You take some shrooms or acid and go watch this movie, I don't think you'll ever come back to reality, man. Nah, for real though, this movie was fucking cool. You know, I enjoyed it. It was another solid origin story and another well-directed movie. If there's one thing I love about the MCU, it's that they've taken the time to flesh out their characters and they've let us grow with them. You know, just imagine the opposite. Like, imagine if Strange didn't have this movie and he just showed up for the first time in Thor Ragnarok or Infinity War, you know? Yeah, that shit would have been a little jarring as fuck and super weird. You know, like take Justice League, for example. You had The Flash, you had Cyborg, you had Aquaman. They all just showed up as main characters out of nowhere. And you're like, oh, okay, well, hello there, dude I don't know shit about. Nice to see you. But what are you going to do? It's typical DC, though. Damn, it never gets old shitting on DC. But anyways, back to Doctor Strange. This movie was balls to the wall, trippy, but it was also badass, dude. It's hit or miss for some people, and I understand that, but not for this guy, man. I'm aware it's basically a carbon copy of Iron Man, but whatever, dude. You gotta look past that. And plus, I liked how they did it that way because it was really cool seeing Strange and Iron Man interact with each other in Infinity War, you know? Supreme, Alpha versus Alpha, nothing better. Any alphas out there want to come at me? I'm here waiting, man. But anyways, supporting cast was great. Special shout outs to Tilda Swinton, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Benedict fucking Wong, man, who's also going to be invited to my wedding as well. But yeah, man, Marvel once again pulled a Barry Bonds and knocked the casting out of the park, albeit without performance enhancers. But yeah, I'm hoping we get to see them return one day, dude. And yes, I know Ancient One is dead, you fucks, but Google it. She'll be back. But anyways, lastly, my only complaint with this movie was the villain. Surprise, surprise. Kaecilius sucked, dude. Nothing else really to say. Dormammu was a savage, though. But, yeah, more of him next time. Anyways, let's move on. Alright, coming in at number 11 is last year's smash hit Black Panther. Possibly the most controversial film of the entire bunch. But it doesn't need to be. You know, the stupid-ass media and social justice warriors made this shit out to be just way too fucking controversial, man. Fucking idiots gotta ruin everything these days, man. I don't think this is a controversial film. I think it's a badass movie. You know, it's another solid origin story about a character we all loved from Civil War and, of course, the comics, you know. T'Challa is a straight fucking G, man. I don't care what you say. You know, his casting is spot on. He's perfect. I really liked the message of this movie as well, you know, and how they did a good job of representing the culture that this character and, you know, the history it's rooted in. You know, it was perfect. You know, the supporting cast was awesome, by the way. Way too many to name, but you know who they are. They all kicked ass, man. Michael B. Jordan checked himself into this movie, making his claim for one of the best MCU villains of all time. He's up there for sure, but nobody can dethrone Thanos. I don't care what you say. But yeah, anyways, my complaints on this film: the third act, it was garbage, dog shit, CGI was fucking terrible. You know, the convoluted battle was just way too much, dude. I would have preferred just to have a solo fight between T'Challa and Killmonger, you know? I mean, I know it was one-on-one, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying I don't think they should have cut back and forth so much between their fight and the war that was going on. I felt the war took away from the badass fight between the two. You know, they spent so much time building up both characters. I thought they should have just focused on them in the end, fighting one-on-one, you know, mano y mano. But, and of course they killed off Killmonger, another one-off villain. Come on, guys. Y'all could have saved him. They could have saved him. But hey, I guess the upside to that is we can get Namor now. So, fingers crossed. But anyways, in closing, this movie is badass despite the third act for me. It's still enjoyable. And I gotta give mad props to this movie for winning an Oscar nom. You know, I personally would have had Infinity War over it, in my opinion. I thought it was a better movie. But, you know, it's still nice to see the MCU get, you know, some recognition. So, this needs to be a recurring thing from now on. Let's move on. Alright, we're here at number 10, the halfway point. We're almost home. Go refill your sodas. Go get some more of that candy. Because this is only intermission, baby. We're here. We're halfway. And at halfway, at number 10, is the first AntMan, directed by Peyton Reed, released in 2015. Now, here we go. With AntMan, I didn't really know what to expect. You know, I didn't know too much about the guy before this movie. I hate to admit that because I pride myself on being a comic book fan. But, you know, hey, this movie was funny as hell. I laughed my ass off at this movie. Loved it. You know, having it act as a heist film, it was just another bonus for me because I love heist films. I love the complex nature and the intricate planning that the characters do. You know, it's always a badass ride to go on with these characters. You know, Paul Rudd, he was money as Scott Lang. MCU again coming in clutch with the casting. I did want to say that similar to Chris Pratt with the Guardians, I felt the casting of a comedian was a little bit weary at first, but man, he came through. You know, he came through. He fit right in perfectly with the tone of this movie. But yeah, the supporting cast is good, especially Michael Douglas, Evangeline Lilly. Speaking of Douglas, I'd really like to see a side story or even a TV series down the road of like a young Hank Pym and what he got up to back in the day and his adventures when he was younger and stuff like that, because we know he was a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., so you got a lot of material to play with there. And of course, like I mentioned before, you got the Ultron shit, so who knows? Give me something where he was doing his, you know, getting the science on and doing some cool shit. Anyways, I can't move on without mentioning Lewis and the gang. These cats were money. You know, they were funny as hell, and even T.I. brought a little something, dude. I was impressed. You know, loved it. With that being said, here's my biggest issue with this movie. You know, once again, the fucking villain. I do not understand it, man. Clearly there's a trend here, and yes, we're all aware of it. Most of the villains in this franchise suck. But, man, holy shit, Yellow Jacket was lame, dude. Dude was clearly an Obadiah Stane ripoff from the first Iron Man. You know, the old family friend wants to take over the business, builds a suit identical yet bigger to the protagonist. Come on, Marvel, you can't be rehashing, baby. Let's go, dude. But regardless of the Yellow Jacket shit, it wasn't enough to ruin this movie for me. It's a solid addition to the franchise. So let's move on, homies. Alright, coming in at number 9 is the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, directed by James Gunn. Now, straight up, kind of like Ant-Man, I had no clue what to expect with this movie. You thought I knew little about Ant-Man? Well, I didn't know jack shit about the Guardians before this movie came out. All I knew was that there was some big-ass tree named Groot and some little raccoon that shot guns and, spoke. Like I said, I pride myself on being a superhero fan, but yeah, I'm ashamed to admit I didn't know a damn thing about this universe at all. But, who gives a shit? I do now. With all that said, I was blown away by this movie. Everyone was badass in this movie, man. From Chris Pratt as Star-Lord all the way down to Vin Diesel saying 3 fucking words as Groot, Let's talk about the villain, though, man. My man Ronan the Accuser. He was alright. He wasn't bad. I wasn't disappointed. This is a rare occasion here in the MCU. Lee Pace brought his A game. I thought the development was well done. From living under Thanos' shadow to saying fuck it and revolting and branching out on his own. It was cool. And speaking of Thanos, it's pretty cool to see a cameo shoehorned in there. I think it did a good job setting up his relationship with Gamora and Nebula. That definitely comes into play in Infinity War. I gotta give a mention to Michael Rooker as Yondu. The dude was legendary, and I'm so hyped that they expanded on his character in Volume 2. I think he was one of the highlights of that movie. But, a shout out to another solid supporting cast, man, that included the likes of Glenn Close, Benicio del Toro, and my man John C. Reilly, dude. Solid additions, man. But in the end, I love this damn movie. The chemistry of the cast, the cosmic visuals, and the solid story, it definitely makes it one of my favorite films and a staple of this franchise. Let's move on. Alright, what we got next? Next up, we got number 8, which is going to be the first Thor film, released in 2011, directed by Kenneth Branagh. This movie gets a lot of hate for some reason, but, I say fuck the haters, dude. I fucking love this movie, Everything in this movie pulled my strings, from the music score, the Shakespearean style acting, the tone, the feel, and the outstanding dialogue, I thought the fish out of water storyline that Thor's character had to endure was great. We saw this man lose it all. So what does he do? He's got to embark on a meaningful journey to find his way back, and it was everything I could have asked for, I was fired up for Thor the entire way. Plus, the way Chris Hemsworth captures this character with his little nuances and his little tendencies, he's a likable guy in my opinion, But in this movie, Chris Hemsworth is rounded out by an insanely good supporting cast, from Anthony Hopkins as the powerful Odin to Idris Elba as Heimdall. I mean, these guys are on a whole other fucking level, dude. Even though, let's be honest, Hopkins kind of acted circles around everybody. But whatever. I love Odin. What can I say?
This was an act of war.
It was the act of but a few, doomed to fail.
Look how far they got.
We will find the breach in our defenses, and it will be sealed.
As king of Asgard.
But you're not king! Not yet.
Go watch that scene, man. I get chills every damn time. But yeah, the rest of the supporting cast fared pretty well. Natalie Portman was great. Stellan Skarsgård was great, and hell, even Kat Dennings was tolerable at times, The standout in this movie, without question, is Tom Hiddleston as Loki. The dude is fantastic in this movie. I really enjoyed his take on Loki, and to date, I think he's the second best villain we've ever had, behind Thanos, of course. But no, Hiddleston did a good job, man. He really made you feel where Loki's confused jealousy came from, But overall, everything about this movie just worked for me, so that's why it's so high on my list, man. Let's move on to number 7. And coming in at number 7 is, hey, another Thor film. Surprise, surprise, we're staying with the Thor franchise here. Number 7 on my list is Thor Ragnarok, directed by Taika Waititi. Now, I gotta admit here, I didn't like this movie when it first came out in theaters, at all. I kind of hated it, to be honest. Why, you ask? Because of the humor. Now, let me explain. Being such a big fan of the first Thor film, I really liked the serious tone, the Shakespearean feel that his universe brought to the MCU. I mean, there was a fair amount of comedy in the first 2 movies, but Thor still had this stern, regal feel to him. Like he took things a little bit more seriously. And I guess I must have gotten a little bit too used to that, because when I first saw Ragnarok, I was irritated by the amount of corny jokes and the campiness. It's like Thor was a completely different person who did nothing but joke around all the time, and it just seemed like he didn't take shit seriously anymore. But stop writing your hate mail, because I'm happy to say, after multiple viewings and a lot of time to think about it, this movie really grew on me a lot. You know, I actually love this movie, to be honest now. You can really tell that Chris Hemsworth and the crew had a badass time making this movie. You know, I was able to see Thor in a whole new light, and that was clearly the point. I heard Hemsworth was, you know, getting a little bit bored of the character, and he wanted to spice things up, and it worked. Other things, man, it was nice to see Mark Ruffalo come back into the movies as the Hulk. We hadn't seen him in a while. You know, I guess this is the closest thing we're ever going to get to a Planet Hulk movie, you know, but hey, I'll take it since Universal doesn't want to give up the damn rights. But yeah, the supporting cast was great. Shout outs to Tessa Thompson, Tom Hiddleston. He came back after a few years away. My man Jeff Goldblum, and of course, Cate Blanchett. My only issue with Hela, though, is I just wish we could have gotten a little more history with her, as opposed to just being another one-off villain. You know, it was a little bit sudden for Odin to say, oh yeah, by the way, you have a sister, here she is, boom. But, you know, fuck it, she was great. Overall, though, Ragnarok was solid. If I would have made this... Overall, though, Ragnarok was pretty fucking solid, dude. I loved it. And if I would have made this ranking about a year ago, no lie, this would probably be at the bottom of my list. So yeah, hold on. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, wait, that's right. Of course, I got to give a huge shout out to quite possibly my favorite character in this entire movie, my man Korg. I fucking loved Korg, dude. Korg and Meek, man, both of them. I cannot wait to see them back in the MCU. Hell, give me a spin-off, a comic book, a TV series. I don't give a shit, man. Let's go with Korg, man. Korg is life.
I'm looking for Korg.
Who's asking? Well, I know you're asking. Is there anyone else asking, or is it just you?
The Lord of Thunder sends his best.
The revolution has begun!
Alright, let's move on to number 6, and that is SpiderMan Homecoming, directed by John Watts. It's actually funny because I'm still picking up pieces of my fucking brain that exploded when it was announced that Spider-Man was going to be joining the MCU a few years ago. But thankfully, after the colossal failure that was Amazing Spider-Man 2, Sony wised their asses up and they gave the rights back to Marvel, which worked out for the best because, let's face it, after Amazing Spider-Man 2, I had no fucking hope left in the franchise. So the move back to Marvel just couldn't have come at a better time. But Spider-Man's appearance in Civil War, though, get the fuck out of here, man. I lost my damn mind when I saw that, dude. And I don't think anything will ever top that feeling until the day comes that the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and Deadpool join the MCU. Ugh. Be patient, guys. Now, here's the deal. It goes without saying that I love this movie. It's one of my favorite Spider-Man films of all time, which really isn't saying much. You know, the only other two that can really compete is the first two Sam Raimi films, which at this point, those are just based solely on nostalgia. But no, I think Tom Holland captures the true spirit of Peter Parker. You know, people tend to forget that Spider-Man, he was a kid in high school. You know, something that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield didn't capture on the same level that Holland's been able to. I love seeing a young Spider-Man who still has homework and other adolescent things getting in the way of his superhero duties, you know? It's a great conflict, man. And I really hope we get to keep Holland around for a long time. But yeah, another great thing about this movie was the villain, Michael Keaton as the Vulture. You know, the way they humanized him into a blue-collar worker who was out for revenge. That was badass, dude. You know, you really understood where he was coming from and why he was so pissed off. Supporting cast is spot on, man. Marissa Tomei, Jon Favreau, Jacob Batalon as Ned. I thought the dynamic with him and Peter is just the best friend vibes that they give off is just fucking awesome, dude. And even the supporting villains were pretty cool in their own way. I was a little bit skeptical of the new Flash Thompson and the new love interest, Michelle, which I guess is now supposed to be MJ, whatever. But even they've grown on me a little bit, especially after seeing that Far From Home trailer. Looks like they're fleshing their characters out a lot better. But overall, this movie's fucking kick-ass, dude. It's a fun movie, and I really love this incarnation of Spider-Man. It's pure hype. Shout out to that badass Far From Home trailer, by the way, dude. Mysterio looks fucking sick. He's one of my favorite villains from the comics and animated series, so the fact that they're finally doing him in the movies, it's awesome, dude. Let's move on to number 5. And coming in at number 5 is Captain America, The Winter Soldier, directed by the Russo brothers. All hail the fucking Russo brothers, man. What a fucking welcome they were to the MCU. God damn, I love these guys. And as far as Winter Soldier, I like to call this the badass, no fucks given, spy espionage edition of the franchise, dude. What a fucking hit this movie was. I love everything about this damn movie. The action, the story, the characters, the direction. It's a fucking thrill ride from start to finish, which is why it's clearly one of the best MCU films of all time. Damn, dude, I'm starting to get hyped just talking about the motherfucker. The way the Russo brothers brought this character into the underground world of secret, evil organizations, and to have him face his past with Bucky, and, you know, the way they did all that was just fucking exhilarating, dude. My man Chris Evans was a straight savage in this movie, dude. As well as Sam Jackson and Scarlett Johansson, Miss Lady Savage over here. I really liked the expansion of their characters and how they fit into the grand scheme of things. It was a good way to combine them into the story, as opposed to them just being other characters that don't really have a place in this. Flawless writing, dude. The introduction of Falcon was awesome, dude. I really liked how they grounded him into reality. And of course, the Winter Soldier was a complete beast. We did have another one-off villain though, Robert Redford. He was alright. Nothing to write home about, dude, so save your stamps. By the way, shout out to the editing crew, dude. You know, I'm an editor myself, so I can relate to this, but you guys brought the rain, man. Shit. During every huge action scene, you never really get lost or confused with the way this film is cut together, you know? The beautifully shot and crafted action sequences really make this look so fucking smooth when you watch it back, especially that highway fight sequence, dude. But yeah, overall, this film was just a fucking savage, dude, and I can't get enough of it, man. So let's get out of here, man, and move on to number 4. All right, coming in at number 4 is the OG MCU film, 2008's Iron Man, directed by Jon Favreau. This is the one that started it all, the staple of the MCU. What a fucking legend this movie is, man. You know, I remember seeing this movie in theaters when it first came out in 2008, just thinking, oh yeah, it's just another superhero movie. Let's see what they do with Iron Man. Because honestly, at the time, superhero movies were starting to suck some major wood. Fantastic Four 2 was shit. Spider-Man 3 was shit. Ghost Rider was shit. Elektra was shit. Daredevil was shit. X-Men The Last Stand was complete shit. So yeah, I was a little weary, man. And of course, at the time, I had no clue, probably along with everyone else, that they were going to start a massive franchise with this. But holy shit, this movie blew me away, man. It still blows me away to this day. I rewatch it every now and then, and just like the first time, I'm hooked, you know, and I can't look away. Especially knowing what we know now, it's pretty badass to look back on, dude. But yeah, man, I love the humanized, grounded in reality version this movie took. It was a little bit reminiscent of the Dark Knight movies, directed by Christopher Nolan. And as far as Iron Man, though, ain't nobody ever gonna play him better than Robert Downey Jr. Ever. Bet money on that shit. The way he's captured this character and more or less based it on himself has been nothing short of legendary. But yeah, I thought the villain was great. Obadiah Stane, played by the dude himself, Jeff Bridges. You really got a sense of where he was coming from, given his backstory with the Starks. And you understood his motivations and why he was doing what he was doing. And it all led up to a hard-hitting final battle that didn't feel rushed. It didn't feel out of nowhere. Kind of like that bullshit one in Iron Man 2 with Whiplash. Fuck me, that was so bad. Overall, though, this film will always hold a special place with me, you know, as not only the beginning of a great franchise, but a note that this is how you do an origin story. So, take note, DC. Take note. Let's move on. Alright, here we are, the last on the list, the top 3. These are the big dogs. Now, I can't shut the fuck up about these top 3 movies. I could talk about these guys for hours, so I'm going to try to keep these last 3 as brief as I can. So, number 3 on the list is Captain America: Civil War, directed by the Russos. Civil War is a big bitch. It's basically another Avengers film, minus Thor and Hulk. Not really sure why they labeled it a Captain America movie, but who gives a shit? Damn, what a surprise this movie was, dude. Let me preface this by saying I was already a huge fan of the comic storyline to begin with, so when they announced this, I went batshit. But damn, man, to see all these superheroes come together the way they did, it was like a comic book nerd's fucking wet dream, dude. I really love the tone, the look, the feel, man, that the Russos applied to this movie, dude. It's much more darker than usual, and it's a little bit more serious at times. It's kind of like a legitimate action movie, man, but with superheroes involved. It was a different take, dude. It was nice and refreshing to see. But all joking aside, it really set the franchise on a whole new level, in my opinion. It wasn't that campy joke shit that we've seen in other superhero films and superhero mashups, but yeah, I mean, there was a little comedy sprinkled in here and there, but it was kind of rare, actually, and even when it was there, it wasn't overbearing, and it was really well crafted. I loved the Sokovia Accords plotline. You really got a sense of where the characters were coming from, and you can understand both sides of the argument. It was a sticky situation to be in, but I think the Russos did a solid job of having both sides try to come together, so they can get on the same page. The ensemble cast was fucking phenomenal. If there's one thing the Russos are outstanding at, is handling a shit ton of main characters, man. Being a filmmaker myself, I love multiple characters and the different traits and personalities that they can all bring to the story, so it's pretty much a win-win for me. But no, man, they did really good with the cast. Every character in this movie had motivation and a purpose for being there. They weren't just shoehorning in characters left and right for the sake of having them in the damn movie. Looking at you, Batman v Superman. Fuck! But anyways, this movie had it all, man. Solid villain, great conflict, incredible editing and action sequences once again, and a badass climax, dude. The ending fight between Cap and Tony and Bucky, it was a little bit brutal to watch, man, but you could understand why it was happening. So yeah, Civil War definitely rose the bar, but the MCU, man, they're always going to find ways to top it, dude. So let's move on to number 2. Alright, here we go. Number 2 on the list, and that is going to be the OG Avengers film, released in 2012. Directed by Joss Whedon, the mashup of all mashups, man. I remember at the time the anticipation for this movie was fucking legendary. I mean, shit, after spending 4 years building up these heroes, the thought of them coming together, it was unimaginable, dude. We had never seen it done before, ever. But when we all flocked to the theaters in May of 2012, we watched with major comic book hard-ons as this movie defied our expectations. This fucking movie is an instant classic, dude. That's what I love about origin stories, is you spend all that time building up these characters, like I said, and letting us get to know their personalities, so that when this movie kicks off, you already know the world and you already know what's going on, So with that said, I was pulled into the story right off the bat. I didn't have to question the damn thing, dude. I gotta give props, man, to Whedon for doing a fantastic job crafting the story and really exploring the interactions between these legendary characters, man. They all stood out in their own way, man, and I thought everyone brought something great to the story, Dude, all 3 acts of this film kept me on the edge of my seat, from the arrival of Loki in the beginning all the way to the final battle in New York, man. What a fucking rush, dude. Let's talk Loki real quick, man. With what Tom Hiddleston did with this character was iconic, dude. Obviously, I loved him in the first Thor, but to see him expand on the character the way he did, it was superbly done. Although Marvel did recently say that Loki was controlled by the Mind Stone during the events of this movie, so I felt it kind of took away from his motivations a little bit, but, whatever, dude. Stop retconning shit like this, Marvel. But anyways, I don't really need to get into all the Avengers characters. We all know they were great, dude. That's going to take way too long, dude. Although this was the first time we saw Mark Ruffalo as Hulk, and let me just say, after a few scenes of him as Bruce Banner, I completely forgot about Ed Norton. But yeah, the inclusion of S.H.I.E.L.D. was great. Nick Fury, Agent Coulson, and Maria Hill, the newcomer, they all brought something special to the story. Even though we had to say goodbye to one of them, at least in the movies. But yeah, before we move on, we got to talk about the final battle, which was just fucking insane. I'm a big fan of big-ass action climaxes, but the way Whedon pulled it off was fantastic, dude. And I give it a pass for having that ridiculous beam in the sky cliche, but look, to this movie's defense, it really made sense why they had a portal. Some movies just do it for the sake of doing it, to look cool. Oh yeah, we're gonna have that final beam in the sky. No, you don't, dude. But yeah, this climax was a work of art, dude. From the visual effects to the music, the editing, the CGI, everything worked. I couldn't take my eyes away the entire time. But yeah, overall, this movie will always be remembered for being the film that did the impossible and brought a multitude of superheroes together for the very first time. It's a staple film of the MCU, and it's a damn shame that Joss Whedon couldn't recapture the magic of this for Age of Ultron. But it is what it is. But for the longest time, this movie was number 1 on my list. That is, until last year, when a little Avengers sequel came along. You might have heard of it. But yeah, speaking of which, let's move on to number 1. Alright, here we are. We've made it. Number 1, numero uno. I'm pretty sure you all knew what number 1 was going to be even before you watched this video. But now, I'm sure it's not number 1 on everyone's list, but it damn sure is on mine. I would like to imagine that it's at least top 3 or even top 5 on everyone else's list, but who knows? Who cares? This is my list, not theirs. Fuck them. And number 1 on my list is Avengers Infinity War. The big mama, the top dog, the king of the MCU, man. For now, at least. You thought the first Avengers film was huge? You thought Age of Ultron and Civil War were even bigger? Nah, son. They don't hold a fucking candle to this movie, man. Infinity War is the fucking epitome of epic and massive. what a colossal beast of a movie this is, you know. Directed once again by the legendary Russo brothers. I mean, what can you say about this movie that hasn't been said already? You know, we spent 10 years, 10, building up to this movie, and my God, did it pay off, dude. I can't praise this movie enough. They pulled it off. It was all worth it. I loved every fucking thing about this movie, man. The Russos keep finding ways to raise the bar and expand this universe beyond belief, dude. There's so many questions we have after watching this movie, which will obviously be answered in Endgame. But the way they crafted this movie to display such a wide range of emotions like comedy, seriousness, heart-wrenching drama, and terrifying twists, it was nothing short of perfect, dude. I thought they blended every character and franchise together incredibly, you know? I mean, we saw superhero team-ups that we thought we'd never see. Spider-Man and Doctor Strange on screen together for the first time. Come on, man. Bringing the Guardians of the Galaxy into the mix, converging with Thor and the other characters eventually. You gotta be kidding me, dude. That shit was awesome, man. And speaking of Thor, this fucking guy was one of the big standouts in the movie. This is the Thor I've been waiting to see for some time now. A trend I'd like to thank Ragnarok for starting. It was great. We had some really good emotional scenes in this movie with Gamora and Thanos, and then with Scarlet Witch and Vision. You know, Marvel tends to remind fans that, yeah, we can be funny, but we can also be heart-wrenching and pretty emotional too. I do wish we would have gotten a little bit more backstory on Vision and Wanda during their 2 years away before this movie, but, you know, I'm sure they'll touch upon it later, dude. I hear some TV shows might be in the works, but yeah, let's talk Thanos real quick, man. Thanos, dude, the Supreme Savage. This fucking guy, this dude stayed in beast mode the entire movie. Thanos is hands down the best villain we've ever had, in my opinion. I really don't know how you can make a claim to who would be better. He's so wrong in his motivations to cleanse the universe, but you kind of understand where he's coming from in a sick roundabout way, you know? They spent so much time adding a great deal of emotion to him. You really felt for him in a sick way when he killed Gamora. In contrast to the Infinity Gauntlet comic storyline, which I absolutely love, I really liked his motivations better in this movie universe as opposed to the comics, where in the comics he was just doing all this shit to impress Lady Death or Mistress Death. He was just fucking doing it all for a woman, just to be cool. But in here, it worked better because of his philosophy and the way he was thinking. And I really can't wait to see how they wrap up his arc in Endgame. Let me see, what else do we got here in this? I love the ending battle in Wakanda. You know, man, you talk about Lord of the Rings scale. That shit was fantastic, dude. The Russos once again found a way to perfectly include each character into the battle, you know, and give each of them their own time to shine. Now, like I said, I have so many fucking questions going into Endgame, but to save time, I'm going to save all that for an episode of our upcoming comic book show, where we're going to sit down and talk speculations and theories and discuss, you know, the Avengers Endgame and stuff like that. The whole 9 yards. It'll all be there. But until then, we can still craze about Infinity War. You know, I've watched this film multiple fucking times since it came out, and every damn time, I can't bring myself to skip any scenes. You know, I'm dazed into it. Just seeing all of these characters come together in one epic blockbuster, it's just mind-boggling, dude. And it's overwhelming. And honestly, I think Endgame is going to be even bigger than this film. How's that possible, you ask? We just got to wait and see. Alright, ladies and gents, that's going to do it for this episode. Whoever is still awake around here, or if you managed to make it to the end of this, I really appreciate it. You know, and to all my fellow comic book fans, we're just getting started, man. Here's what's going to happen. Once Captain Marvel and Endgame and Far From Home have all been released, I'm going to do another one of these bad boys later this year. But until then, grab your hammers, grab your shields, and get ready for a fucking ride, because it's going to be one hell of an epic year here in the MCU. Now, before I leave you, be sure to follow us everywhere at the Indie Rundown. One word, you can find us everywhere on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts. It's the same name everywhere, because we here at the IDR, we're consistent, just like the MCU. So until next time, folks, we out.
Be sure to follow the podcast on Twitter and Instagram at The Indie Rundown, and like our Facebook page, The Indie Rundown Podcast.